Welcome back, focused learners. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer because we're going to demystify a truly fascinating and honestly incredibly powerful relationship within your body. For the longest time, the standard advice given to folks managing chronic conditions was just to rest, take it easy. But today, we're looking at the undeniable evidence showing how movement acts as literal medicine for your kidneys. By the time we wrap up this explainer, you're going to understand exactly how targeted physical activity can actually protect, nourish, and even improve your kidney function.
Okay, let's dive into this because this question right here challenges a massive misconception. When people are diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, or CKD, the natural instinct, and yes, sometimes even outdated medical advice, is to prioritize absolute rest to preserve energy. But we now know that remaining completely sedentary can actually accelerate kidney decline. And hey, we aren't talking about running marathons here, but rather how specific, targeted physical activity is actually the real solution to keeping those kidneys functioning at their absolute best.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll unpack the kidney-exercise connection, then dive into the science of resistance, walk through 6 gentle daily movements, and finish up with strategies for lasting success. It's a clear path from the underlying biology right down to daily habits. All right, section 1, the kidney-exercise connection. To really wrap our heads around why movement matters so much, we first have to take a look under the hood and understand the invisible, tireless biology of the kidney itself. 180. That is the number of liters of blood that your kidneys filter every single day. I mean, just think about that volume for a second. To put that into perspective, that is almost enough to fill an entire standard home bathtub. Your kidneys are working tirelessly 24/7, filtering out waste, balancing your bodily fluids, and regulating your blood pressure. But to pull off this monumental job, they require something very, very specific from you. And that brings us to the nephrons. These are the millions of microscopic filtering units packed tightly inside your kidneys. Think of them kind of like a mechanical water filter in your fridge. A mechanical filter absolutely relies on strong, consistent water pressure to push fluid through the mesh, right? Well, your nephrons work the exact same way. They require a steady, stable flow of oxygen-rich blood, not just to filter the waste, but to literally nourish their own cellular tissues. And guess what stimulates that strong, steady blood flow? You guessed it, bodily movement. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what happens when we stop moving. When we sit for prolonged periods of time, gravity just causes blood to pull down in our lower extremities. This sluggish circulation literally starves the kidneys, which, remember, are tucked deep in your lower abdomen, of vital oxygen nutrients. But conversely, an active lifestyle keeps that heart pumping efficiently. Every single time you move your legs and hips, you are actively driving nutrient-rich, oxygenated blood directly into those nephrons. You are quite literally feeding them. Moving right along to section 2, the science of resistance. So we know movement increases blood flow, but what kind of movement, and exactly how much? Well, I want to relieve any anxiety you might be feeling right now because we're going to look at exactly what the clinical research says about the minimum effective dose of exercise. Let's look at this really fascinating clinical study published in the journal Frontiers in Physiology. The researchers here wanted to see what would happen if patients living with stage 3 chronic kidney disease, so this is a phase before dialysis is required, underwent a 12-week resistance training program. They had these patients performing exercises, things like leg presses and squats, just to see if lifting some weight could prevent muscle wasting and improve their overall physical function. The results they found, absolutely wild and incredibly encouraging. They split the patients into 2 groups, one training once a week and one training 3 times a week. Now, naturally, training 3 times a week built more overall muscle size, but look at the strength and symptom outcomes. The patients who trained just once a week saw the exact same massive 56.9% increase in leg press strength and the exact same significant decrease in uremic symptoms. We're talking things like fatigue, muscle cramps, sleep disturbances, and they got all of that working out just a third the time. So the crucial point is perfectly captured in this quote straight from the researchers. You absolutely do not need grueling, daily, exhausting workouts to see life-changing benefits. Just one focused resistance session a week can dramatically increase your strength, reduce those stubborn symptoms, and really help preserve your physical independence. All right, section 3, 6 gentle daily movements. Now that we have the clinical data showing that a little truly goes a long way, let's shift gears from the lab to your living room and check out some highly accessible home-based movements.
Enter a routine developed by Dr. Fan Kwong. This is brilliant because it requires absolutely zero gym equipment. It focuses entirely on gentle, deliberate movements designed specifically to push blood flow directly to the lumbar region and the lower abdomen, right where your kidney's sick. And I want to assure you, no matter your age or what stage of kidney health you're currently in, these modular exercises are perfect for clearing out toxins and bringing down kidney inflammation. Think of these 6 movements as your personal daily menu of options. We've got simple leg stretches, hip circles, the yoga child's pose, single leg raises, a soothing lower back massage, and gentle walking. You don't even have to do all of them at once. Actually, just picking a few of these is enough to activate the deep veins in your legs and physically pump that blood right back up to the renal arteries. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the mechanics of child's pose. This is a super common resting pose in yoga, where you kneel, stretch your arms forward, and rest your forehead on the ground. By doing this for just 3 to 5 minutes, you are physically unpinching the blood vessels that feed the kidneys. You're relieving all that mechanical pressure on your lower spine from sitting or standing all day long, allowing blood to just rush into those tissues, all while simultaneously lowering your stress hormones. It's a total win-win. And hey, for those days when you're just too fatigued to even manage a gentle stretch, look at number 5, the lower back massage. Simply rubbing the area over your L1 to L5 vertebrae, so right at your lower back, for 1 to 3 minutes, generates heat. This is a completely valid, ancient technique that actively dilates the capillaries in the area to better nourish your nephrons. It stimulates renal blood flow and can honestly even help you sleep better at night. Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, Strategies for Lasting Success. We've covered the why, the science, and the specific movements. Now, let's look at how to actually build these habits into a safe daily routine using official guidance from the American Kidney Fund. The American Kidney Fund sets a very specific golden target for us, and that number is 150. We're talking 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week. Consistently hitting this target is clinically proven to lower blood pressure, improve cardiovascular health, and most crucially, slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Let's move to and see how this builds, because 150 minutes might sound like a lot if you look at it as a single giant block of time. But you don't have to do it all at once. Actually, scratch that. You definitely shouldn't do it all at once. If you break it down into just 30-minute sessions, 5 days a week, it becomes highly achievable. And remember, moderate intensity just means raising your heart rate and breathing a little bit harder. A brisk walk, a light bike ride, or swimming, they all completely count toward this weekly total. To help you get there safely, the American Kidney Fund outlines these 5 simple strategies. First step, understand your limits. Always consult your healthcare team before starting a new routine. Second, set realistic goals. Start small. Third, incorporate variety just to keep things interesting. Fourth, actually schedule it into your day like it's a non-negotiable appointment. And finally, monitor your response. Really listen to your body's signals to ensure you're staying safe and not overdoing the whole shebang. Well, we have covered a whole lot of ground today. From the incredible filtering power of your nephrons, to the scientifically proven benefits of just 1 day of resistance training, all the way to gentle stretches you can do right on your living room floor, you now have the knowledge and you have the tools. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. Which small movement will you choose today to help your kidneys thrive tomorrow? The power to protect your health is literally in your hands and your legs. Thanks so much for learning with me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.